I'm going to my favorite restaurant for breakfast, and we're going to talk a little bit about business because, guys, growth burnout is a real thing. And if you've been feeling like you're working harder and harder and harder and it's just not getting you ahead, you might need to make some changes in how you're approaching that growth strategy. So I'm going to tell you about my big fat growth fail and then what I changed to actually create massive breakthrough. So 2017 was probably our best profit year in business ever. But as the year went on, I found myself getting more and more burnt out. Like, I was trying to grow my business, I was trying to scale, I had all these people in place, and I just kept getting more and more burnt out.
So I was sitting in my cubicle today and I realized ever since I started working, every single day of my life has been worse than the day before it.
So on the beginning of 2018, I decided, okay, this is the year we're really going to scale. So I hired all these people on my team, and it didn't decrease my workload and it didn't increase our profitability. So here we were working, I felt like, harder because now I had all these people to take care of, and making less because I was paying all of the salaries. And at the same time, I just was like getting more and more burnt out. And I remember thinking, like, I cannot keep doing this for forever. Like, it's got to either pop out one side or I'm just going to have to like really slow down.
I'm only going to say this one more time, sir. Calm down.
I'm calm!
And that year we had some tough family stuff come up too. I ended up needing to I got a call from Adult Protective Services that my grandma was not capable of living on her own anymore. And so my sister and I became caregivers to a woman who did not want to leave her house but needed to leave her house. And it was really hard and really challenging getting her estate taken care of and figuring out where was the best place for her to be, and helping her navigate that change of not wanting to let go of control. And so it was a big year. And then we also had some just challenges in our family and some changes in dynamics and things, and I took a break. I remember telling my husband, like, I just want to have one or two clients who pay me a lot of money, and that's all I do. I don't need to be out there. I don't need to be having lots of clients. I don't need to be building my brand. I don't need to do any of that. I just want to be able to cover the bills. And so at that time, I had a client who reached out and said, hey, is there any way that we could possibly just like work together a lot more closely? So I started working with a client that I love, and he has a great business, and I'm kind of really focusing in on there, and then just taking clients one and two as they came. And so for like a good 18 months, I really put the brakes on my business. And during that time, it wasn't that I wanted to forever have the brakes on. It was that I really needed to figure out what I was doing wrong with trying to scale my company. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever had that moment where you have to step back in order to be able to step forward. But that was my moment.
Well, don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not gonna do what you all think I'm gonna do, which is just flip out!
And so I realized some things about how I had been trying to scale in the past. So in the past, when I was trying to scale, it was really kind of like this. I'll draw this for you and then I'll show you. So in the beginning, the way that you build your business is it's kind of like you, and then because you are a dynamic person and you've got the big ideas and you have the talent, then you're able to attract in the people, the resources that you need, the like opportunities, this would be a little stage, and you attract in the money. And so that's kind of like the first level of building your business. So then what I tried to do was I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to hire a team. So I'm going to get, sales team, and I'm going to get marketing team, and I'm going to get, admin support, and I'm going to get coaching team, and I'm just going to get all these people in place. But then what was happening was now I lost connection with these people, which, I mean, let's be honest, that's the part that I really love. And then all of these people were coming to me for everything that they needed, And it was super overwhelming. So now I'm not doing the part that I love, which is the coaching and being with the people and, you know, being a part of their success journey. I love that part of the transformation of just being with my clients. I love, love, love my clients. And then instead I love my team too. Like, I loved working with these people, but everything was still kind of coming back to me, and I still felt like the bottleneck. And so during that time, I realized, like, I'm doing something wrong. This is not the way that it's supposed to go. This is not what this should look like. So there's obviously got to be a better way.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we have a problem.
And what I learned about myself and my business during our break, if you want to call it that, it's funny, I was talking to one of my friends during that time and telling her I was going to take a break, and she goes, Amy, you're the only person I know that would consider having a client that you work for being taking a break, but it felt like a break to me. So what I realized was my challenge had been that I was the center here. And so everything still needed to flow through me instead of looking at it as the 3 V's. So if everything is about the 3 V's and it's all focused around this, then I can have team members, and I will tell you what the 3 V's are, but I can have team members who can be more effective in maintaining and supporting the 3 V's. And then I can still have the people, the resources, the opportunities and stages, and the money. I can still have these things flow. These people can support all of this. But then my role right here gets to be creating the 3 V's and working with the people. So here's what the 3 V's are. It is your vision, your values, and your voice. So when you are a dynamic leader, it is challenging to scale up. Like, it's easier to scale up when nobody cares about working directly with you. Like, it doesn't matter to them who they work with because it's just about the service. But when you've built your business off of being a dynamic personality, then you have to create a vision for where the company's going, and then all these people understand the vision and they're making decisions and basing all of that around the vision. Then the values are your core values. That is a super loud truck. But the values are like your core values, what you stand for, what you're about. And this will empower all of your team members to make good decisions because they're in alignment with the values. And then your voice, like, you still, when you built your business off of you being the voice, you still need to be able to be the voice. But other people can copyright for you. Other people can take, and you can decide like where you create your content. I like to create content in video, but then other people can watch that video, they can get your information, and they can create the other things that you need. So they could create blog posts for you, they could create social media posts for you. They can do all of those things because you are spending time and energy on the vision, the values, and the voice. And that is what your team members work off of, so then you can continue to spend time with your clients. I feel like we need a mic drop for that, but instead we get a expo marker drop. So what I learned during that time was that it's really important as you grow your business that you figure out what it is that you love to do. Like, what's the thing that fuels you in your business, and never take yourself out of that.
I like this job. I like it.
So the thing that fuels me is I love working with my clients. I love being in strategy. Now, I don't have to do everything with the clients. Like, I'm not a good babysitter. I don't really love doing that part of it. I don't love, I don't love doing production work. So there's a lot of things that I don't have to do. But what I really, really love is I love helping them figure out their strategic plan. I love getting that in motion, and I love being a part of their success journey. And so when I get to stay in that space, then I'm really happy doing business. My team is empowered to be able to make the decisions and step up the way that I need them to step up, because I've created a framework for them that they know where we're going, they know what our values are and how to make decisions, and They also know how to speak and represent my voice, so not everything's coming back to me like, Amy, we need you to copyright. We have this great new marketing idea. We need you to do all the copywriting. Amy, we need this from you. We need this from you. Like, Amy needs you to do some things without me so that I have time to have a life, because that's ultimately what I felt like I was lacking. Was I felt like I was working harder and harder and harder, but I was getting farther and farther and farther away from the things that really bring me joy, which is having time for my faith, having time for my family, having freedom to do the things I want to do and be creative, and then being with the clients. So there you have it, my friends. So this, my friends, is what is worth sitting outside in the super hot Georgia sun and having sweat everywhere. This right here.